guys, welcome back to Moment of Silence Pod. I'm Sakshi Shivdasani,
And I'm Nana Bhan.
and I am not sure if I am in the place in life that I have to be.
Really? But
Yeah.
consistently, we've put out 50 episodes. Is that not something that you wanted? Is that not something you dreamt of as a child? A podcast with a
Honestly,
struggling Netflix
yeah.
actor?
Everyone wanted to be an astronaut or a veterinarian as a kid. But me, I was like, why not run a podcast that is losing 1 to 10,000 rupees per month? Why not? It's honestly not a bad idea. They're 50 episodes in. We are still not at 30,000 followers, I think. So, what the frick?
Respectfully, we're taking the L. And should we talk about in this episode?
Yeah.
You were saying that you didn't think you'd be here in your life at 27.
Yeah. Honestly, when I was a kid, I used to tell my parents when I'm 18, I'm going to move out of the house. But the thing with that is, things cost money. And
Yeah.
as an 18-year-old, I didn't have any money. But then I don't know whether my version of having money keeps reinventing itself, or I just don't have money, or I'm not where I had to be.
I actually wonder that when you like for me the pipeline was always like go to college, get my bachelor's degree, get a master's, then work, do a 9 to 5 my whole life. And then of course falling into this side of things, which is content creation, which is vastly different from what we were doing,
Right.
happened accidentally. But you went from like college to content creation.
Yeah.
How do you kind of wrap your head around something like that?
Honestly, so for me, and I know this is coming from a place of privilege, but it's like I never had, like, I was like, I'll pursue my dreams because money is not an object in me pursuing my dreams. So while I figure out what I wanted to do, I was living off my parents.
Hmm.
And that is like something that really made me like do what I genuinely was passionate about. Now I don't even know, like, earlier it was so exciting to get all these like invites and these events and all of that. But now, like, I said no to free Coldplay tickets. Like I said no. Like I had to do some brand deal to do it, and I was like, it's fine, I'll just buy them. I didn't know it was gonna be a fuck fest to buy them. But like I said no because I was like, oh, who's gonna create content? But like 21-year-old Sakshi is probably beating me up in some
Hmm.
alternate reality right now. So I don't know, like it made things less exciting for me
Hmm.
because I just had access to the things. You've seen the management side of things.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I've honestly, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a pop star.
I
That
love
was the
it.
dream.
Hannah
Okay.
Montana.
Hannah Montana, but I was too shy to do it. Then I always want to do something with art, history, again, such vanity fields where only a privileged person can take that time to figure out how their
Yeah.
life will turn out. But I always thought that by the time I reached the age that I currently am, which is by the time I reached my 30s, I would feel so much like a woman. I would feel like such an adult. I would have so much grace. I would have my life put together. The one thing you don't realize about life is that to have things together, you need to be able to delegate tasks. And I don't know how to delegate. I don't know how to delegate tasks to my partner. I don't know how to delegate tasks within my own life. That I'm just constantly like kind of running behind myself. But in the middle of all that, I figured out okay, I didn't take the path that I thought my life would take, but I've somehow ended up at a place where young Nana would be very impressed by who I am today, and these are all the things that I dreamt of. And till last year, I was kind of just like fighting against, like, and cribbing and crying. And now I really consciously want to take a moment and like appreciate what I've done, you know,
Yeah.
and celebrate it. Because the minute we celebrate something or the minute we read something, we shift the goalpost and we're like, nahi, ab ye karna hai. You know, you take one business
Yeah.
class flight, you're like, I just, I want to get to first class. But when you're sitting in that business class seat and you can put your legs up. You
You're
have
like,
to,
wow.
yeah. I was like, first time in my life, blood is flowing to my toes in a plane. Never felt that before. And I appreciate it.
I can't even relate to that example. This is not very girl next door of you.
But to say that, my friend and I, we used to joke. She was always like this wild child, and she'd have multiple partners, not multiple partners at the same time, like a lot of and she was like, oh my god, I know one day I'm going to be like ending up, I'll come to your couch like crying about some boy, and you'll have this picket fence house with the kids and the dogs, and we are literally role reversed. We are so role reversed. She's come into this beautiful relationship with this lovely guy. She's got the beautiful home, everything. And I humbly started from scratch 2 years ago. And I've been trying to prove to myself that I'm not a failure.
I don't think a failure is on Netflix.
Fair, fair. But like, again, that I was like, I'm not a failure. I'm just like somebody who's fighting for some kind of perfection that there is no need to achieve.
Mm.
So I genuinely, the last 2 years, all I could think about, especially after my divorce and everything, I was like, I'm a failure, I've fucked up, guilty, ashamed. And now I'm like, dude, I dodged a bullet before I turned 30. My entire life is in front of me. My work is in front of me. I have access to the most amazing men, good looking or not. Personalities are also a vibe. I'm like going on
Got
holidays.
us straight right now. Good looking or not.
But it's like I genuinely am living life, and the way things have aligned in the last year with my dad passing and all, the only thing that comes out of it is like right now I'm healthy and I have some money coming in. I'll save some responsibly, but I'm going to spend and live my life because I have to take my experiences to the grave and nothing else.
Right.
So that's why I'm going to Mexico. Just that.
Yeah, no, when you said that like young Nana would be proud of you, I'm actually kind of thinking about what young Sakshi would be thinking. Um, so I have not celebrated any milestone in my life because every time a milestone is achieved, I'm like, okay, but this is not the goal. The goal is a much bigger milestone, and my milestone has been the same. Like the goal has been the same, and I think right now I'm coasting. I think I haven't achieved anything so far, and so I've not celebrated anything so far. Every time I'm like thinking about like what I have done, I'm like, okay, nothing. Like you're in the process, you haven't actually achieved even a single goal of yours. And at some point, it's kind of hard, because then it's like, what the fuck? Like, why are you working so hard if you haven't been able to achieve one goal?
But what are your goals that you're not being able to achieve?
Um, I'll give you an example. Like, I when I wanted to be a content creator, I was like, yeah, for sure, millions of followers. But I don't think 1 million is a milestone. Because at 1 million, I'm like, not even 1% of the audience that I want to know me knows me.
Yeah.
So 400K for me is like not even 1%
Right.
of like what I want to achieve. So for me, I'm just like, I don't think young Sakshi would look at me and be like, loser. Like
Really?
you're like, you're thinking you're hot shit because you have 400,000 followers. Like 400,000 is such a small number. Like young Sakshi is hazing me.
Right.
Also, young Sakshi is like, why did you put on 10 kilos?
That's so sad because
Yeah.
genuinely yesterday when I was watching you from behind at your family gathering.
My daddy's chota. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, auntie. But I was literally looking at you and having almost like an out of body experience, even though it's your body and I'm not. I was like, dude, this girl is so impressive. Like, firstly, so well turned out. Makeup was brief, like specific. Like she was glowing, but it wasn't looking cakey, and that's very difficult to achieve at a chota. And apart from these superficial things, I think this girl has moved into her own
You see me do a
apartment.
chalk?
Yeah, I saw that. That was the most aggressive chalk I've ever seen.
Like, oh,
There was something wrong with it, but that's okay. But moved into your own apartment, second one, has a child.
third.
Oh, third apartment, has a child, has like the most responsible savings plan pipeline anyone could have. She's so close to being able to buy a house.
But it's a mediocre life.
What are
Like
you?
buying a 2-bedroom house in Bombay is a mediocre
No, it's
thing to
not.
do.
What are you saying? I can't even think about it. Like, I know, I literally am looking at the idea of making like a big investment and I'm like, oh my God, how much I have to work to get there. It's not even funny. And I'm thinking about it from the perspective that I want to have a kid by like 35. I'm not going to be able to give that kid a permanent home because I'm not at my financial goal to be able to raise a family in a way that I want my kid to be proud of me.
But do you think that everybody feels that way?
Every millennial for sure I feel feels that way because we grew up in like a boom, but we also hit a recession and we also got COVID and we
We've
can't
seen a lot.
we've seen a lot. We
Yeah.
can't buy a house. We don't have patience for a 9 to 5. We work around people our own age who have much easier jobs than we do, who are earning like crazy amounts of money. I never saw that growing up.
Yes. You know, right out of college, campus placements, at least in my college, 25,000 rupees a month is the starting salary. And while at like 21, I'm happy to be making 25,000 rupees. It's a good standard to hit. But then when I was 21 and I was like, okay, 25,000, then I was calculating like a 10 to 15% appraisal every year. And then I was kind of calculating like where I would be by the time I retired. And that was not an amount that I was like stoked about.
Yeah.
Considering my upbringing and the standard of life that I'm used to, I was like, oh. And then after a while, so I was like, I can't do a 9 to 5. I think all of us are very overqualified for the jobs that are in the market. And I think that's why we're like, it's easier, even though it's so much more difficult to start something by yourself, that it's easier to start by yourself because at least if you're like slogging your ass off at the end of the day, you're slogging it off for yourself.
Yeah, that was my big problem working at a job because I was like, right now I'm pouring so much of myself into somebody else's dream and somebody else's vision. And why can't I do that for myself and take that chance on myself? And
Shreya is nodding very aggressively, which means she's gonna leave us.
no, yeah, she is. But honestly, my sister's in the UK, right? And like there, obviously, if you're studying, you get 2 years of work visa, and then your company has to sponsor you to stay in that country. And while life is hard there because you're doing everything by yourself, she's like, dude, I can't even argue that my work life is hard because they have dignity of labor. 6 p.m. is a hard clock out.
Yeah.
She's going to work twice a week and they respect her leaves, they respect her time out, they respect all of that. And she like the same organizations when they work in India are rugdoing and ghissoing their
Yeah.
employees because it's something that's okay over here.
Yeah.
We really don't value our time or money.
You've heard of the term brain drain, right?
Yeah.
I like, why the fuck would these overqualified smart people want to work at a fucking organization that is slogging them off? Like, instead of just going to the US and working at a place that like
Is doing the same thing
respects
but
them,
giving you perks.
giving you money at
Yeah.
least. Like, at the end of the day, if you're working like 20 hours a day,
Yeah.
at least then when I go to a fucking restaurant, I should be able to fucking throw money.
Basically, if you're not living a galich existence and you don't feel like a boss, it
Yeah.
kind of hurts. But I have to say to that,
Mhm.
that That's one aspect, right? Professional life, which is, I think, arguably everybody who watches Moss is like, meko nahi pata main kya kar rahi hu. You might be killing it at life, but you don't have the consciousness that you're killing it at life because of the various hardships you might be facing. What do you think about like yourself? Like getting your mental health in order? Because I feel like a lot of us come with a burden that we are innately flawed people and we need to work on ourselves and we need to work on ourselves.
That's so difficult because I feel like I do need to, like, I don't know, mental health is iffy with me because I'm so convinced that I'm okay that I know it's a problem. Like, you know, when I actually sit by myself, I'm like, no one's that okay. You're clearly avoiding issues that, like, you have. And, like, I've decided that I'm not going to care about things, you know, at some point. And I'm pretty sure that's very avoidant. And I know I have, like, avoidant tendencies. Tendencies, it's a lifestyle. But, so for me, mental health comes from a very, like, oh yeah, everyone else is fucked up, I'm fine. But I know that at the end of the day, when, like, I'm alone at home watching The Office for the 40th time on Netflix, I'm not fine. Like, and I don't know whether it would benefit me to, like, sit and work on my issues because I'm just so busy. Like, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. We start crying.
You know, I was literally going to ask you, like, how often do you cry?
My daddy just. um
Yeah, I get it. No, but like, separate from family members dying, how often do you cry?
I think I cry once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
How many times?
Now my tears are out. It's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
But
in a regular year.
like I've also noticed, like as you're growing older, 18, I used to cry every 2 days. I moved to college, my master's program. I cried every night, every fucking night. I was so lonely in Gujarat. I didn't know what to do with
I would
myself.
also cry in Gujarat. Unless it's Navratri, which it is right now.
Yeah.
I've been informed.
Dude.
Like, whenever this episode.
The only time I got happy in Gujarat was when we were doing Dandiya. Okay. And I was so bad at it. That
Condom
someone came.
salesman and then both happy during done. Yeah.
This guy came up to me, he's like, listen, I know you're enjoying yourself, but you suck at it. And I never danced again. And I was depressed further.
It's like my one joy.
But Dandiya is a lot of fun. Have you ever done Navratri?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Every
In
year.
North India, it doesn't happen.
Oh.
No? That's why.
Mumbai is half Gujarat. Bro.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm never good at it. I can do Garba, but I can't do Dandiya because in Garba, if you miss a step, you just get whacked by a hand. In Dandiya, if you miss a step, it's a Dandiya hitting you, bro. You lose aura points.
But there's something, I felt it. And I was like, there is a God and there is like a spirit that's bigger than us. Because when you're dancing for so long and you've kind of given into, say, 200 people in this Maidan and you're going in a concentric circle, well, life has decided what you have to do for the next hour, right? There's something very magnetic about the energy in a
Yeah.
Garba Maidan.
Yeah, it's very akin to going by Mumbai local trains.
I don't think so.
Listen, okay. You don't have to do anything at a station, you know. You're just pushed into a train and you're pushed out at your destination. Same with Garba. A song plays, one dude decides what the step is, and then the 200-person Maidan and Miss Falguni just do the thing. And I've never done Garba classes, but somehow I know how to do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just me then.
Like Nagara sang Dhol, I can picture the steps in my head.
Dude, after Ramlila came out, the way
Change the Garba industry
changed
for
the
real.
game. First Falguni and then Ramlila.
Falguni is the Mariah Carey of Indian culture. Bro, how much do you think she makes? Do you think she's proud of where she is?
I think so.
Or do you
She works 1 day a year.
9.
I hope. Okay,
9
sorry,
days.
9 days a year. 9 days a year.
Poor girl. 9
You think
whole
like
days.
Falguni Pathak for the other 300 something days is like chilling in the south of France in a villa.
Just listening to like jazz. And then 5 days before Navratri, she starts practicing the lyrics of her own song. She's like, oh, fuck.
Churi jo karne ki.
That's why she's wearing these like corsets and all. And then for.
Dude, she was so ahead of her time that she's so relevant today. And she launched every it girl of the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Every it girl wanted to be in a Falguni Pathak video. I wanted to be. I wanted my chunni to tear. I wanted that blue ghagra choli. I wanted all of it.
You know, shout out Falguni.
I know. You don't get your credit, man. It's not fair. It's always Lata. Always with the Lata this country. I'm kidding. Please don't kill me.
Tanmay Bhatt literally got cancelled for
I'm so
making
sorry.
this.
She's
Lata Ji.
Lata ji. But Falguni Pathak ji, respectfully, quite an institution.
But you know what I think Falguni Pathak Ji
Yeah.
does for the rest of the 300 days? I think she sits and she's like, I'm doing nothing with my life. Like, I think she's so sad, and then she makes like, how much do you think she makes a year?
Like a couple of crores for sure.
Couple of crores, so bro, even Tanmay Bhatt makes a couple of crores. Falguni,
But he works 365 and then some.
he
on
works,
himself.
he plays paddle ball on every evening. People that are working so hard don't play paddle ball for 2 hours every weekend.
Fair.
Back in the day when he was working hard. He didn't have time
Stop
to
talking.
work hard.
Stop talking. I want to ask you, it's a touchy subject, but like, are you spiritual or religious or?
I believe in a God, but I am not religious.
Okay.
Like, I respect all religions.
Yeah.
But when I pray to the universe. I don't pray to a God. What about you?
Watch. There was a time like when in my 20s, I would enter a mandir and I would just, if I was doing puja, I would just start crying.
Same.
Like there were havans in our house and I would just be crying through the havan.
Same.
Why for you?
Oh, I don't know. I was just like, I used to get an energy in my body that I could not tolerate. Like, could not handle is a better way to put it. I guess it was overwhelming.
Yeah. It was really overwhelming in the sense that I don't think that like when you're in a temple, there's a sense that, okay, there's a God in front of you and they are holding you accountable or they can see within you in any shape or form. You can't hide from this person or this entity. And that used to overwhelm me because like it would really make me confront how sad or how like I wasn't feeling like myself inside, and it would just make me cry. And it wouldn't matter where it was, because I think like even like there's some such beautiful old churches or like even mosques have such a beautiful like exterior. Gurdwaras, apart from the langar, that was the added incentive. But it is so nice to just sit on a regular day like in a gurdwara. It's so peaceful. And something about like a really ancient looking sardar, it makes you really feel like you're transported in time.
The MDH masala guy transported to Juhu Beach eating pani puri with the masala.
So one of my friends, when their parent passed away, they had this really beautiful ceremony where they'd gotten these 3 old Sikh men to sing Kabir ke dohe. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And yesterday, in fact, at your Dadi's prayer meet, it was the first time I'd actually seen a prayer service being carried out by women, which was very new for me. I don't know, is that a Sindhi thing? Okay.
Anybody's guess,
No, because I was like, it took me a second to like rejig my brain because I'm so used to growing up watching men do the prayers.
Yeah.
Like men have passed people along, men have got me married, men have done all these things in my life. I'd never seen a group of women carry out like.
If it made you feel any better, they got my dadi's name wrong 3 times.
Why would that make me feel better? I was like complimenting them.
Oh, no, no.
Yeah.
I meant like, yeah, I did like that as well. I
Yeah.
did clock that. They did yell at me 3 times, but that's okay. That's part of the experience. For me, like religion is such a touchy subject because of the country that we live in.
Yeah.
So I'm like refraining from saying that I'm not like a religious person. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that for like prayer for me is personal. Like when I pray, like I
Sorry, there's this fly.
it's
Yeah.
no, prayer for me is more like I I'm not God fearing. I'm
Yeah.
God,
Loving.
yeah. Or like I treat God like I would my father, where I demand things from God. It's like if you love me, you have to do this.
Yeah.
I'm like very religious before a big decision. It's like just give me a sign. What the hell? Like, sorry. Just give me a sign. What?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I get it.
Or like if you make this happen for me, I'll quit vaping, and then I haven't quit vaping, but things have happened. And it's like
Yeah.
God will forgive me because God's whole thing is that He's forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
She.
They.
They. God's whole thing is that they are forgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. But moving on to the most important question, how much is Miss Ma'am Pathak making?
How much is Miss Ma'am Pathak making? I don't know, but I have to tell you, like, there's a lot of pride in me that I, with a history honors degree, with a film and video masters, have ended up kind of comparable salary to my good friends who did business degrees, who did MBAs, who literally have like proper like nerd geek brain,
Yeah.
and did all of that. And I was like always being told off in school for having all the traits that make me money today,
Yeah.
including my good looks.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, fuck. Of course there's a God. Because
Yeah.
I'm here right now.
You know, honestly, if I was born in a different generation, I would be unemployed.
Yeah.
Because there's no job for yappy girls, like other than podcasting, I guess. That also in the next 5 years, in the last
Yeah,
five
yeah, yeah.
years, this field has come up. So, yeah, grateful for the times that we're born in with the blanket and
Every episode there's a Blinkit shout out. I don't know
just fucking
why.
sponsor me Blinkit or I'm going to Zepto. Last warning. This is Zepto, guys, till 90.
The other thing I want to talk about was, and the big question, have you grown up as a lover?
If me and my friends can't find the love of their life, they're Prince Charming, they're
Mhm.
good looking, not balding, successful, assertive, caring, loyal man,
Mhm.
then everyone is doomed. Because such beautiful, successful, smart, funny, personality driven, career driven women, if they cannot find the love of their life, then I need to jump off a building. Because I can't. But I truly believe that I have grown in terms of the love of my life loves that I bash men.
Hmm.
He's not insecure about that.
Hmm. Because
You
he
know?
knows that's my job. That's not what I bring home. I don't bash men.
No, he's like, I'm not like those guys. So
No,
sure,
no.
I'm not gonna take it personally.
I would rather he be like, yeah, I see hints of myself. And that's
And I
but
will learn and I'll
and
better
yeah,
myself.
yeah.
You know?
So that's what I was saying. Like, I was like, I'm very good at loving because it's something I'm doing, right? मैं कर रही हूँ. मैं तेरे से इतना प्यार करूँगी, इतना प्यार करूँगी. Like for the next 7 lives, you're gonna be icked out by how cheap I am. But I didn't know how to be loved, and I expected very little.
Yeah.
And so over time, I've just figured out how to be loved. And my whole thing is like, I'll not want anything from you, but secretly want something from you, but the entire time be like, nee, it's okay, I don't need anything. And then be fucking like a pressure cooker waiting to do a CT. The dal is burnt inside. Huh? But that CT needs to come out. But now I realize that because I was holding all of that in, I was also being so fucking aggressive.
Mm.
And I was being so passive aggressive. And it's really difficult for someone to love you if you're so volatile and such a live wire. So I've just learned how to practice a bit of patience in love as well. Like, obviously, if you're going to live your life over 20, 30, 40 years with somebody, there's going to be up and down. It's going to be whether like external factors, internal factors. And there needs to be some patience, there needs to be some grace and forgiving there, apart
Yeah.
from everything else.
You know, I was actually talking to my friend about a similar thing of
Yeah.
like being loved and loving, and she told me that women often date like we are ugly. Like, not like objectively, like we feel ugly. So we date like we don't deserve enough. And that is not the way to date. You need to date like you deserve the world. So,
Yeah.
like, you can't, like, if you know the guys that you're dating are losers, which, like, we're not dumb.
Yeah.
Like, if you're dating someone and you know they're a loser, you know it. Like, you might be delusional about it, you might be all of that.
Yeah.
But it means you think you don't deserve better. And that is not the way to date. Like, I think as girls, like, we need to like start approaching men that we like, because if we only make our dating pool the men that approach us, then we are instinctively not
Yeah.
living to
Doing
our
ourselves
full potential.
justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I genuinely have to stop myself when I come home from meeting somebody to be like, oh my God, I hope they liked me. I don't want that thought anymore.
Yeah, it
I
should
say,
be,
why?
do I like
Yeah,
them?
do I like them? And
And
honestly,
I never like them.
yeah.
So why the fuck do I care if they like me?
Exactly. And that was the last like 20 years of my life. Literally, I started loving very young. But the biggest thing that I learned after being like on holiday for 20 days with no agenda was that
She's brought it up 4
no,
times.
I've
huh?
only brought it up because the entire time I was hit with the reality that everything in my life is just noise, is just bakwas, and it is not one thing that like I feel truly deep down inside. Like I feel like everybody wants to be nourished, right? As a human being, you want to be nourished. You want to be nourished by conversation, you want to be nourished by information, by things you watch. That's the kind of being we are. When you're working, when you're going to office, when you don't have time, you that nourishment becomes like fast food, right? In school it's like eating a salad because you're learning about like geography, politics, etc. When you go to office and you're devoting so much time to work, your nourishment becomes reality TV shows, which is like eating fast food. That's not nourishment, but it gets the job done because you feel full. And that's how I was feeling when I was like on holiday. I was like, dude, essentially I fill myself with crap, and it's not anything that's giving me any fulfillment in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I feeling stressed about, okay, will I get married again? Will this happen with me again? Will I have a kid? No one in my family is putting pressure on me.
Yeah.
And if I had a patriarch, I don't have that anymore. I am technically the patriarch of my house. So I make the fucking rules for my life. So why am I still getting pushed into this thing? Do I need to have another relationship? Do I need to get like married? Do I need to settle down? I don't need to do fucking shit. I need to go to Europe like 6 months a year. That's what I need
But
to
I
do.
don't think your dad was also putting this
He
pressure.
wasn't.
Yeah.
But you know, like that's what I'm saying. There is so much noise. I left Bombay feeling like, oh my God, if I leave, mountains will crumble. Nothing happened.
Right.
And that's it. That's what I like. I hold no importance, and the shit in my life has no importance. Like I felt so happy having no. I felt like a kavaria. I had no worldly possessions. I was just walking 20K every day.
Sitting on bus stops.
Yeah, I was like, I get it, because we sitting in boxes in like cities, we kind of start feeling attachment to things. We start gossiping. We start doing things that
Gossip के बारे में कुछ नहीं बोलना. I feel like gossip is top tier nourishment. It's like a superfood. Gossip is superfood, guys.
Gossip
Like
is not.
come on, you can't put reality TV and
Gossip is piri piri
then
fries.
stop gossiping. How you can say gossip is top tier food, not top tier food? Like I'm offended.
It's a good
And
snack.
you calling me a kachre ka dabba because I only gossip and you only gossip. So what the fuck happened?
I read a book.
Why? You know that's the problem. Which book did you read now? Which book?
The Double X Economy.
You know, just read like Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck or something, post it on your story. Like, please, don't even read it, just buy a copy and post it on your story. You know, ever since my ex and I broke up, we had like nice books in our house, and obviously they were his. So he took them, and the average, I have one book, which
Yeah.
is The Color Theory. And I have this GQ magazine where I was there,
Yeah.
but that is used for other things now. But does that make me not nourished
No,
mentally?
it doesn't. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for most people. That leading me
Not
to
for me.
Not for you. Because you do a lot. There's a lot you're putting out. I don't know. You somehow you're like Jadoo, you get energy from anything. It's a vibe.
What do you think gives me energy like that?
I think-
Gossip.
I'm gonna also segue into the fact that you need, as an adult,
You can't say segue and segue. Find a cut.
the cut is that please find friends who are high frequency people.
What does that even mean?
That means that don't find, like, I find it, the first type of friend I made when I started working was the friend I could do bakchod with.
Yeah, me.
No,
Oh.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the friend that you go, you meet, you guys like smoke, you laze around, you watch like F1. It's so bakwas.
Who are you who are you talking about?
It's not you. Wait.
I don't watch F1. I know.
Exactly. I'm just saying, like,
And I don't smoke.
again, the nourishment there is that in the day to day, your time is filled by a comfort inducing activity. But in order to go up in life, you need to meet different people who bring you different perspectives. Who, like, why I think you're a great addition to my life as a high frequency friend, no matter how much you love to gossip, is that you are a doer if I ever knew one. Like, the way you're active and the way that you can turn, like, literally vague sentences into the most prolifically funny stuff. It's like really fucking admirable.
But that is only possible because I don't read.
No. Just I can't do this podcast.
Anti-reading
I'm sorry.
agenda.
This podcast
Oh
is
my
over.
god, okay. You read one book and you feel smarter.
No, I'm just saying I read one book and I liked it. I
Okay,
like
that's
reading.
fine.
That's all I
But don't
said.
be inspired by double X economy.
I
Like
am.
everything that you do, you are like you don't get smarter by reading.
Okay.
You get smarter
A
by
hot.
doing.
Right.
What are you gonna read on your flight?
If I ever get on one, I have to finish Double X Economy.
Oh, so you haven't even finished it.
No, but it's such a good
Is
book.
this your first book of the year?
No.
Second. Ikigai.
No. Ikigai was an audiobook. So anyway, fuck it. It's not important.
Oh.
It's my fifth book.
my favorite book I read is Moment of Silence. Since
She reads the
audiobooks.
transcript on Spotify every week loyally, and so should you. Drop us a rating right now.
Can I tell you all how checked out I am?
Yeah.
So another member, Ria, shout out, was added to the team, and she was added to the group at some point, okay? And I woke up in the morning, and instead of 4 people on the Moment of Silence group, there were 5. And then suddenly Ria was being delegated tasks to. And I just didn't question it. I was like, maybe I missed this conversation because I'm so checked out. And I was like, hi, Ria. Can you please do XYZ for me? And then I just met Ria like 20 minutes before the shoot started. And I was informed that no one told me that Ria was being added to the team. So I wasn't actually that checked out. Excuse me, I was too busy reading Double Y Economy.
Prank. Ria's just our number one follower. Prank.
She takes off a mask. It's just Raj Shamani.
Nice look at Kana. That was good.
We loved your look and come.
Okay, cool. So you're not a good friend. This okay.
What the fuck did I do?
You said this. I was like, "Tum bahut achhi ho." You're like,
I was
suck,
like,
I suck."
reading doesn't make someone a good friend. A high
I-
frequency.
How did
friend.
you combine the two things? It's okay. She's only doing this to bait Shreya. I was getting so irritated on this.
She's standing off camera. I just thought a sigh.
Yeah.
Sumit, cancel her check. We were talking about dating like an ugly person
Were we? Oh yeah, dating
at
like
some
an
point.
yeah. You know what's really cool, and that just speaks to our entire life. So this podcast, because we're putting in every week, and it's now we're on 50 episodes. We don't feel like we've really hit any milestones personally
Because we haven't.
but we have an entire room filled with people who work with us on a daily basis, and last November it was just you and me.
Yeah. And Vedant.
And Vedant, and then Vedant went away for a little bit, and now Vedant's back. Vedant,
And
insert your joy.
Vedant-
Right here.
Woo! And Vedant, in that meanwhile, has moved his studio
Yeah.
from his apartment living room to a studio that looks very expensive. Touch wood.
It
He's-
is very expensive, touch wood.
Good for you, Vedant. I swear God.
Yeah, it's been a
We're
big
proud
year.
of you, Vedant.
You know, the other way that I checked this out, remember when we made manifestation boards as a fun activity?
Yeah.
Dude, my board is coming true.
That makes one of us.
Because you didn't believe in the board.
I
My
believed
board.
in the board, and then the board assaulted me in Spain.
Are you sure you're not projecting on the board?
Like, I'm in my travel era. The board was like, yeah, babe. Be scared of solo travel forever.
It's like, call me Bo. Who was better, the board or Ananya?
No, Ananya, you were looking stunning in Call Me Babe.
I have to catch up on Call Me Babe so badly.
It was actually banger. And Gurfateh, not Randhawa. That's Guru Randhawa.
Pirzada.
That was my second guess, but then I got scared, so I went.
Yeah, what about him?
He was looking really nice.
Shout out Gurfateh.
Shout out Gurfateh.
We know Gurfateh is a fan of the pod.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he
He
literally
was in
gave you.
class also. Shout out Gurfateh. You are my favorite.
He's also so tall. Like he came and he said, "I love your podcast," and he bent down so low and blushed.
A man bending for a change. I love it. Even Varun Sood was looking very nice on the show. Me.
You cannot get the taste of the Delhi boy out of Sakshi.
Is he from Delhi?
He looks like he's from Delhi.
Just because he's fit, you think Bombay guys aren't fit?
No, Bombay guys are fit, but his name is Varun Sood. That's the Delhiest name I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah, I told you. Takes one to know one.
वेदांत एक तो तुम edit नहीं डालते हो ये सब you know.
You started
Oh.
Varun Sood's YouTube channel, bro.
So can you give me his number? I'm joking. I'm Varun. Sorry. I'll just comment on your YouTube.
What about Vihan? That was the third love
Oh
interest.
yeah. Vihan was good.
Hmm.
Like I saw him in his show.
Which
Eternally Confused.
I have to say, I've made amazing friends in the last
Same.
since COVID.
Same.
Friendship,
Literally same. Like I would do anything for my friends. And
except
I know,
come to Europe.
I didn't have money.
Money.
Like it's so abstract. I'm sorry, H&M didn't want to pay for my business class tickets.
Okay,
I'm
no.
very happy for you,
Yeah.
by the way.
No, I have amazing friends now. Like really, look at this beautiful creature. Look at all the people behind this camera. Just imagine them. They're very beautiful.
I feel Vedant stared their faces, yaar.
Like every woman that is my friend over the last 5 years, they're like my Pokemons. Like each has
Same.
one superpower.
Superpower.
And they're all
One is Squirtle.
guess who? It's obviously me. You're Charizard, bro. You're such a Charizard. It's not even funny. And they all work such great jobs. It's
Yeah.
crazy. One of my friends is an artist. She's showing in Japan.
Ooh.
One of my friends works at Google. One of my friends is like the business head of Good Earth. Like,
My friends, don't worry. They're 5 years older than us.
her friends are
Her friends.
my acquaintances and her
One of
friends.
my friends is a podcaster, 50 episodes in.
But her
idea.
other friends, her younger friends, bro, they bought their family a home
Yeah.
at 26.
Yeah. One of my friends is designing like restaurants. No, I was so fascinated because I sat in a car that day and there were like 40 samples and I was of tiles.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so cool. What are you doing with this? And she was like, it's part of my job. And like, dude,
That's
also
mad.
like
Merch sample when.
merch sample. Guys, it doesn't make money. Please. Natasha is gonna, come and like put a pillow on me in my sleep if I keep saying no for merch. So stop asking. Comment, we don't want merch. So I don't get murdered in my sleep. One of my friends is, I read this post actually. You can cut this out later if you want. Of like, I'm very proud of people, and now it's like 4 or 5 people that have gotten married and divorced in their 20s.
Woo!
Shout out. Because I have never gone to the bank without crying. So for you to figure out the paperwork of both marriage and a divorce before you're 30.
Look, this constitution makes it damn easy.
Yeah?
I'll tell you that. Hindu Marriage Act, bomb.
Shut up.
Shout out Hindu Marriage Act. You walk around a fire 7 times, print a card. It doesn't have to be printed. E-card, married.
How'd you get divorced?
That, my friend. No shouts out. But to that also, I'll say mutual divorce. You don't get to keep anything. it's quite fast.
Well, I'm very proud of you because
Thank you.
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
But look at you now. The twinkle in your eye has
I
come
got
back.
the Ozempic gaunt from the stress of my man.
And people are paying so much for the gaunt.
I got it for free.
Free.
No one's counting how much my parents spent, but I got it for free.
Can't count how much everyone spends now.
Now I can't be that mindful.
Not your lookout. Now what? They got a wedding now.
Wedding.
My friend got a green card, bro. You two didn't get anything. He
My-
got married to
My
his
wedding
dog.
card was green hue. With some bail.
No, my friend got married to his girlfriend who is a US citizen. And he found out she was cheating on him. So he got
Yes.
divorced, and in an act of forgiveness,
Yeah.
like in an act of like apology, she was like, I'm not going to come in the way of your spousal visa.
That's fucking fake news because if you get divorced in the US, you get a visa anyway. You get a green card anyway.
What?
Yeah.
Then why does 90-day fiance care so much?
Because they're not getting married now. They're getting married to stay married. They're not getting married to get divorced.
Every
That's
day-
not the way the show works.
Every day,
Yeah.
the idea of fraud gets better and better. Like,
I swear.
you know, look at Nirav Modi walking around the streets of London where people can only dream of buying houses. He's just chilling. Look
He's
at
just walking.
VJ,
Dude,
popularly known as Vijay.
uncle.
But his London friends just call him VJ.
Dude, that's the thing. If you have a guilty conscience, karma will fuck you up. But if you don't think you've done anything wrong, you're chilling.
And how easy is it to gaslight yourself and think you've done nothing wrong?
I don't know. I've never had that experience.
I've done it for like low stakes thing, like the
Yeah.
argument with my sister. It's like I didn't do anything wrong.
Best is walking into a room with all of Sakshi's relatives. And till now, I've seen Sakshi as an adult. And now I've seen her as a 10-year-old terror. I didn't do it. I didn't do it, mom. She kicked me.
She kicked me
She
though.
kicked me 4 times, mom. She's like, yeah, Dadi, respectfully, please just stay quiet. But I didn't do anything. She's the one. Just
I didn't do anything.
That's true. That's true.
You were there.
I was-
Attest to it.
I was.
Bro, this episode's gonna come out 3 weeks later.
Then you
and my sister's gonna start the fight again.
This is what happens on the Kardashians. Do you know that? Courtney and Kim keep fighting. Then they make up. Then it comes to post. And then they see the fight on post and they start fighting again.
Oh, we're just like the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Me, my sister, Urfi, her sister, you, your sister. Only one of us has a Kardashian-esque show.
Yeah.
And it's not me or Nan.
We got Kris Jenner's cancelled talk show. We're giving
Oh,
that
yeah,
vibe.
sure. Ah.
Anyway, if you don't know what you're doing in your life, that makes all of us. Not one person is having a unique experience. We are all fucked, okay? And if you're fucked, comment down below, rate us, and follow us. Subscribe to this
The
channel.
only segue Nana gets seamlessly is rate us on Spotify. No one except the Spotify people and Nana remember to rate us on Spotify. But guys, please rate us on Spotify because you know what happens if you rate us on Spotify? We get pushed by the algorithm. Once we get pushed by the algorithm, we get more followers. Once we get more followers, we can make merch. Once we make merch, you can wear the merch. You can wear the merch. People will be like, wow, you're so funny, smart, and sexy because our merch is going to be funny, smart, and sexy. The love of your life finds you and he's loyal and he's handsome. His hairline has fixed itself. And then you are married in your 20s and then Nana knows how to get divorced.
We've got you covered.
Yeah. So rate
Abhi.
us on Spotify.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that.
Vedant, can you make a graphic of what I just said? On that note,
Satark raho.
सावधान रहिए,
सावधान.
सतर्क रहिए.
Adios.
शुभ रात्रि.